All right, so it's time to start a new series, isn't it? Yeah, we're going to take you from zero to hero in data analytics. We're going to have a nice talk about what data analytics means, how it evolves into a business, and how it evolves a business as well. Because, your business will evolve as well as your analytics will evolve. Before we start, though, don't forget, like and subscribe down below. Hit the bell icon to be notified when our next video comes out. Give lots of feedback. Tell us what works. Tell us what doesn't work for you. So let's get on our and start zero to hero. Alright, so here we are, isn't it? Yeah, this is kind of the typical place that we all start, isn't it? Everything starts with an Excel spreadsheet these days, doesn't it? Somebody's got an Excel spreadsheet, bring some data in, we can do stuff with it. So we've got our Excel spreadsheet. Now what kind of things do we typically do with it, yeah? If I came here and I said, let's insert a pivot table, right, we hit OK on that. No one's going to be that surprised. Oh, he's got a pivot table there. Tell you what, let's zoom in a little bit on that so we can see what we're doing with it. Let's bring through our regions. Let's bring through a total revenue, and let's bring through a sales channel. Okay, and then let's just make that into pounds, just so it makes a bit more sense. Okay, sample data set, quick and easy build. Yeah, this makes sense. Sort of thing we do, nice and regular, almost like clockwork, isn't it? So what does it mean when we start to say what comes next? What's the goal or the next step in our iteration? Well, the first thing we're going to do as an analyst is we're going to say, oh, well, yeah, my boss, he or she, they like seeing charts and pretty pictures and that. So we'd go, all right, let's tell you what, let's change this into a pivot chart, okay? And I'll do something like that, right? And then we can put that into a PowerPoint slide and build a pack of, a few pages of that. And that, tells the boss everything they want to know. So what's the point in this zero to hero course? What are we doing? What are we trying to get towards? So it brings us here kind of thing, doesn't it, right? This is typically where we end up, isn't it? We're starting to put charts onto slides, yeah? So we might have more charts that go up and they show, oh, we're doing great here. And we might even get to the point where we're highlighting an area and saying, oh, this means something, okay? Oh, right, we know what we're going to do. Oh, wow, right, there's more to it than that. The problem with this, okay, and the problem that we've always got with it is it's always historic, okay? This is always talking about something that's happened. There's nothing we can do in it that's going to fix this that we've got there, the arrow we've put this. We're at this point where we're doing what's known as descriptive reporting, okay? Descriptive analytics. We're describing what has happened, okay? And all too often, businesses get stuck in that descriptive analytics mindset, okay? Now, descriptive is not the same as bad. If it's not the same as bad, what does it mean? What do I mean when we're saying that we're doing descriptive analytics? Okay, so descriptive analytics is really, it's your starting point, isn't it? So we start, let's put a little rectangle in there. Descriptive, yeah? Great. Step one, descriptive analytics, okay? So that's our day zero, isn't it? Day zero. We're not doing anything particularly special. The next thing we want to do, or rather the holy grail that we want to get to, is over here, isn't it? Where we've got this prescriptive. Okay, prescriptive analytics. So prescriptive analytics is where it's starting to prescribe to your business what it is that you need to do to get the result that you want to. Okay, and that's what everyone wants to get to, because in here, we've got things like AI, right? Well, given that what AI means, that's a bit of a, AI is is a term that's used an awful lot. Okay, but prescriptive analytics, okay, AI, yeah. So there's automation involved. It's basically what we know. We're going to need automation, okay? So how do we get from our descriptive world, where we're here, isn't it, right? Descriptive analytics world, to where we need to get to in that prescriptive thing, right? With prescriptive analytics, does it just happen overnight? And the reality is it doesn't just happen. It's not a case of it's just this, right? There's a lot that has to go on to do that. So you're going to have to establish like a data culture. Yeah? You got to have, what does that data culture mean? We have to get everyone in the business talking about data in the same way, with the same level of understanding and preparedness that they know what something means. You're going to have to release control. Okay? So we've got to release control. Why do I have to release control? If you want a data model or a data engine to prescribe a set of actions to you that you're going to have to follow to get the best results, you can't be, I know what's going on with my business, it's mine. You've got to be, oh, wow, okay. I didn't see that one coming. It's release of control. Okay? So good data culture, where we are data driven in our decision making, leads to us. We also need to understand that there is a mid step here. Okay? So there is that middle step. And that middle step is predictive. Okay? We start to get to the point where this is based on ABC happening. The result, one, can be expected. Predictive analytics. Okay? Predictive and prescriptive are different. Predictive is about saying this is what should happen based on what's happened. This is what we can expect. Prescriptive is about saying if you want this to happen, this is what you have to do. Okay? Like if kind of one of them, if you build it, they will come kind of moments. Within all this, though, the key point, the key thing that you have to wrap your head around and you have to understand is this data culture, okay? You have to do that properly and wholeheartedly really embrace the principles of a data culture, understanding what that means. Part of that then means we have to start to talk about the language of analytics across our business. So on day zero, we start to recognize there are some challenges that we're going to have to face. Okay, so we'll mention two things today. Okay, two things for you to remember. Okay, thing one, analysis is columnar. Okay, what do you mean it's columnar, right? If I go back to my Excel spreadsheet quickly, my Excel spreadsheet here, right, we go back to our other tab, right, what are we looking at? We were looking at what's the total revenue. So it's a sum of a column, isn't it? And we wanted the total revenue by something, okay? So what we suddenly end up with is this idea that a chart is actually about a column, okay? And the filters that apply to the column, huh? So if we look at the chart here, we've got at the top. Here, we aggregate the plot area, don't we? Yeah? And then this bit and this bit, they're the buys, aren't they? So we're aggregating by. So in this case, this is by region. And this is an amount. So, sorry, this bit will be here. We will talk about it. Be by channel. Okay? So we've actually got to the point where we're realizing, we're recognizing that the way that we establish and put in elements of a chart are based around the principle of a column. Okay. So those are the two things, yeah? Two things. The middle of your charts is always an aggregation, isn't it? Right? Pretty much always. Right? For the principles of analytics, you'll find it almost always is an aggregation. It might be an aggregation of one, but it is an aggregation. Okay, you're doing something about that by something else. Yeah. So in this case, by region, by channel, but it could be by some other things. Yeah. You've got lots of other options. So what that means and what that equates to, okay, in the language of analytics is facts. So we have facts and we have dimensions. Okay, facts and dimensions. That's what I want you to remember today, because that is the beginning of your journey into analytics. Okay, as we're going and we're looking into becoming analysts and moving our business forward, you can see there are some terms that keep coming up every time we look at this and I try and describe and talk about what this process is going to entail and what we're going to have to do as people within a business. It always comes back to two simple things, right? And thing one is always the same thing, right? Data culture, right? If you don't get everyone in your business embracing data and thinking about what goes on across the business in terms of the data that is generated, in terms of the data that the insights are driven from, you might as well stay at home, right? It's pointless doing out, okay? And the other thing is, if people are not prepared to release control and start to be data driven, it's not going to happen, okay? Senior management in particular are the ones that find this most challenging. You know, the idea for a senior manager, well, you know, the data is going to drive what I do. What's the point of having me is often kind of the thing. And you go through, you can look at the various stuff that's out there, and we'll cover more in the business this as we go through. The main thing is that, of course, a leader of a business doesn't need to be bossing people around doing stuff. You know, you're there to inspire, to lead, to show, to set the example. So you're not there to go, oh, yeah, right? If that's you. So we've enjoyed day 0. Come back for day 1, right? Where we'll start to actually look at pushing this to the next level, right? See what we're starting to get into, yeah? As we start to look at a meaningful data set and that meaningful journey from PowerPoint with pretty charts to something that's actually going to start to deliver meaningful insights into my business, to then start to get that point where we can talk about, well, to go next, this is what I would have to do, and this is what I would have to do. This is what I could expect if I did all this. So have a great week, yeah? I hope you'll give this a go and, you know, give us some feedback. Let us know what's going on. Take care. Ta-da.